Okay, yay! So we are going to talk about your arm. Yeah, your arm, your bendy arm, to be specific. Yeah, that's your bendy arm. Because Misha asked us to make a video because there's some other kids out there who might get the same surgery you had on your arm. They want a bendy arm too. Say, yay, bendy arm. Yay, bendy arm. So let's see. So Anastasia has arthrogryposis. AMC. Woo! And she was born with her legs kind of almost crossed Indian style because she had contractures in her knees, making them bent. And this foot here was clubbed and turned all the way upside down. And this foot was turned a little bit. And her arms were both straight, like this. And her hands were clubbed down, just like you see them here. And you were not able to bend. See, this arm is very stiff. No bendy. No bendy. Straight arm. So, after she was born, they started serial casting at 3 weeks old, which is where they change the casts on her legs every week and keep straightening and straightening and straightening and straightening her feet to make them the right way. And they finished that when she was 4 months old. And then she had a heel cord release surgery where they nicked the Achilles tendons at the back of both of her ankles. And that brought her feet up to that 90-degree angle that you need to step on your foot. And she's been wearing AFOs ever since. However, she's going to be 15 months old in about a week. And this left foot, the one that was really bad, is starting to regress and turn back up again because the AFOs are not holding it in place well enough to keep it, along with stretching, from turning. So we're probably going to have to do surgery on this foot again. This is her stubborn foot. This is her stubborn side. Her knees, we did a lot of stretching after her casts were off and her heel cord surgery. A lot of stretching through the whole summer for like 3-4 months. We were able to get them straightened all the way to 0, both of them. But again, her left side is stubborn, so this one requires more stretching every day, whereas this one stays pretty straight. So the arms, because that was the point of this video, was all about her arm. We went down to Shriners in Philadelphia, where the best of the best of the best doctors are. And we saw Dr. Z, who is super awesome. And he recommended that when she was around a year old, we do an elbow release. They wanted to do it one at a time. So we were going to do her right arm first because she has more movement, like more active movement in her right arm than she does in her left. Her left arm, she actually wasn't able to lift it or move it at all until after 6 months old, when her occupational therapist started doing e-stim on her. She would put the electrode pads on her, and then all of a sudden she started moving this arm. And she's getting a lot better with it, but it's definitely not as strong as her right arm. She can't lift it as high. She can't pick up stuff as well with it. So anyway, Dr. Z wanted to do the elbow release on the right arm, one at a time, because that way, if after surgery she was not able to retain a good range of motion and straighten it back out all the way, then she would still have a straight arm, her straight arm, to wipe with when she goes potty. But the surgery has been so successful that I think we're definitely going to be getting the other arm done this summer. So what he did for the elbow release was he went in. Let's show him your scar. He went in back here. See? There's the scar. And he cleared the calcification away from her elbow bone that was causing the contracture. And he stretched the tendon that goes from her shoulder down up over her elbow because, you know, that tendon is not used to stretching up like this. And normally he said that they try to get 90 degrees from an elbow release surgery. So they go from straight to about here. He was very pleased with the surgery because he was able to get 110 degrees out of her, which meant that she could bring her hand. Can I put your hand in your mouth? That meant that she was able to bring her hand to her mouth. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. He said to me after the surgery, when I asked him how it went, when he called me to say that she was done, he said it went so well that she's not only going to be able to put her hand to her mouth, but she will probably be able to put her hand in her mouth if she wanted to. So, she was in a cast for 2 weeks after the surgery. And then we went back down and got the cast off and learned how to do stretching. And we've been doing stretching at home ever since, a few times a day. And we have been able to get now her range all the way up to about 125 would be the max. And she's still retaining the extension all the way at 0. Like on her own, if I don't do really good stretching, just kind of the way she stiffens up throughout the day, I would say she goes between about 110 and 15. So I have to do the stretching to keep that all the way at 0 and get her beyond that 110. She doesn't like to do her stretches, like I'm sure most AMCers. She tends to start fussing when we get up this high. But she can touch her ear. 1, 2, 3, 4. And she can touch her head. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is, if you can see, we put both hands up. One can touch her head and the other one cannot. It's easier to put on clothes now. So she can bend her arm to get her clothes on. She can feed herself with a spoon, although she doesn't have the strength to hold it by herself. I can put my hand over hers. And she likes to put the food into her mouth. Huh. You like to do that? Put the food in your mouth? Mouth. Let's see, what else? I don't know. I think that's about it. It's definitely been a positive experience, the surgery. Looking back, I would definitely do it again. So, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Oh, one more thing. So we do have to, as a maintenance, right now and kind of indefinitely at this point, Shriners gives you splints afterwards that you can use. The splints didn't work for her. It was kind of like pinching her arm on the inside, and it was really uncomfortable. So we are using Coban wrap, which is like a sticky ace bandage material, and I'm wrapping her every single night when she goes to bed. So I wrap it up like this, and it stays like that the whole time she's sleeping, so that she doesn't lose that range of motion. And when she gets up, then I have to stretch it, the extension, because it's really tight from being wrapped up all night long. Because this little missy sleeps 12 hours a night straight. So her arm, I usually wake up a little, like a couple hours before her and unwrap it and let her sleep for a couple of hours without it wrapped, just so she can have a nice, comfortable sleep. I'll take her AFOs off, too, for a couple of hours. But still, it's wrapped for a good 8 to 10 hours a night straight. So that's a really good long time that it's stretched up. And I think that's it. Yeah, I think we're done. Can you say bye? That's a really long video. That was almost 11 minutes. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Can you wave?
Yeah.
Wave with your bendy arm. Bye. Good job.